Hey everybody, this is Joe Jackson coming back to you for part 3. So me and Christian sitting here having conversation, and I said, let's just go to video. You're going to
Yep.
see a couple more from us, and he's got his favorite cup.
Yeah, I do. And we've got sunshine all day. It's been cloudy and raining and 75, 80 degrees, but cloudy and raining, and now the sun's coming in.
I love it. It's shining off
Yep.
your face.
Yep.
So nothing like the Hawaii weather, I'm sure. So we're sitting here talking a couple of things and just talking things out. Me and Christian bounce a lot of things across each other a lot as we go through the evenings and circle back around. And so we was talking about vetting companies, vetting things, and what makes sense for people that look at things, if that makes sense. So
Right.
meaning that if somebody's going to look at something, to how to vet it and how to and why we decided what we did because we vetted. So Christian, if that makes
Sure.
sense, come in here with it.
Not really, but I know you're tired, so we'll just run with it.
There you go.
All right. So here's the thought process. Let's establish something first. We're here for residual income. You and I are here absolutely for residual income. I quit law school because I wanted residual income. That was my whole pursuit of network marketing, has been geared all around residual income. So I just want to make sure everybody's on the same page. You have friends of Joe out here, that residual income is what we're after, right? That's what fuels our freedom. That's what gives you flexibility and options. Of course, that's what we're all after. So when you're
Yes.
looking at something, we see this all the time, and you and I have done this so many times. We've been total idiots over and over again.
Yes.
We we see this
Oh,
product, we see the product or the service, the subscription, the package, whatever it is, the big idea. We see the big idea, we see the marketing, we see the owner, we see the comp plan, we get all excited. Our mind starts to race with possibilities. Oh, he would like this, she would like this, they would like this. And we're in gear. We're running, we're building the check, we're building the business, having a ball, throwing our heart and soul into it. And we fail, and it's terrible, but we fail as soon as we start. We don't even realize sometimes, because the vetting process doesn't make any sense. It's a lot of emotion, which I love, passion, and I love that. I love seeing that on entrepreneurs, but I think it has a place. I think in the vetting process, when you're looking at something, you'll be best served to put emotion and passion and everything off to the side. Like, get it out of the room. It doesn't even belong in the room when you're making this decision. This is a business decision, first and foremost. Once you make that, carefully calculated, very intentional business decision with a lot of logic and common sense, hanging around with you, then the passion and the emotion and throwing your heart and soul, that's the order that makes sense. And how many times? Every time. I mean, every time up until just now,
yes.
the order has been wrong. We get all excited, we throw into it, and then a year later, a year and a half later, if we're lucky, 2 years later, maybe 2, 3 years later, we're going, uh, what? I've been working my tail off. I built a big group, but it doesn't seem big. My checks are kind of just doing this. Maybe the company isn't handling something very well. Maybe the market conditions are no longer ideal. Something we talked about in one of the other videos, Joe, was this whole path that most MLMs take. Most of the MLMs I've ever been with, it's we're the best, we're the first in the world. It's those kind of claims, and all of the marketing is, Joe, we've got the best in the world. Nobody can do what we do. Nobody can touch what we do, which is cool for a little while. And I just,
Until that auto ship kicks in and it don't make sense.
yes. So back to vetting. Yeah. Thanks for getting me back on task here, back on target. So part of this vetting process, so if the emotion and passion, everything is out of the room, we're looking at the business or the idea with a clear mind. One of the questions you have to ask, if you're after the same things we are, with residual income, if that's what you're after, you have to ask, Is this something that my regular friends are going to buy, subscribe, pay for, consume? Are they going to do those things every month until they die? That's the big question. Is it reasonable, logical? Does common sense, does your gut tell you? I'm not talking about emotion. I'm not talking about excitement, because our perspective doesn't matter. What Joe and I think or believe or passionately or crazy excited, who cares about that? What matters, where the rubber meets the road, is will the teacher, the retail person, the delivery driver, the person who works at the bank, will these real, regular people consume whatever it is you're excited about for the rest of their life every month or not? And if you can't honestly answer, you know what? Yeah, it's reasonable to expect that they will. Then you're not on a good path. You're not on a path that's going to result in residual income. I want to tackle something here, Joe, because this is a closely related thought. We have so many friends, and we've done this ourselves, where we buy into this idea where the product everybody needs, right? We tell ourselves everybody needs this.
Right, we tell ourselves.
Oh, this is going to sell itself, man. Everybody needs this. It's it's amazing. It's whatever. And the thing we forget about is the cops, the teachers, the bartenders, the retail workers, the stay-at-home moms, all these regular people, the 90s, the 90 percenters, they do not have an extra 100, 150, $200 a month in their budget for whatever it is we're excited about. They just don't have it. It doesn't exist. So that's a huge problem. So if you're in this mind, if you've already let emotion and passion creep in and cloud your judgment, I want to ask you to hit the brakes just for 2 minutes. Just to really push that out of your head for 2 minutes and go, will my mom for the rest of her life spend $180 a month consuming this, whatever it is, on subscription for this, whatever it is, or not? Does she have that room in her budget? And I'm asking her, am I changing her budget? Because if I'm changing the 90 percenters budgets, that is not a war you can win. You can win, a few months, a year if you're lucky, but you won't win those wars. It's not going to happen.
Kristian, you just touched on something that that hit me really strong. So by that analogy you just got with the rubber hit the road is really telling, because think about this. Is I made the emotional decision to, I think everybody needs it. I convinced this next person or my people that everybody needed it, but we still didn't get back to the basics of, can they afford it long term? Is it something necessary for them month to month, or something that is either they're making money or they got something that's valuable? And so when you bring these back to the table, if you have something valuable, if you have something to where people can make money, you have something that nobody can get hurt, and nobody's making an emotional decision, as you say, that's where this has changed everything for me. Now I see everything. That's why a lot of people are reaching out too. They're seeing it as well. It's wow. It's just so, when you really sit back and think about it, it really, really sinks in.
Do you kind of feel like your eyes are open for the first time? Like
for
ever?
The first time ever since the beginning.
I know.
There is no doubt that I was dumb. Not meaning to be, just emotion, not thinking. Does that make sense? Maybe.
Totally. Yes.
Maybe it was just me just thinking, oh, this person needs this and this person needs. How long did they need it? Until they realized they couldn't make any money, or it was too expensive and they could go buy it somewhere else. I mean, let me add this.
Yeah.
I have never in the past 10 years been able to sleep so good at night. Thank you. Man. Thank you.
Wow. This coincides perfectly with the video. I can't remember if it was the last one or the one before that. We talked about most people fail, and it's just a tough reality that it's reality. You can fight it all you want, but it's not going to change. About 90% of people are going to fail. When you pair that up with this question about the way, I like the way you put it, So we think they can't live without it. But the real test is, can they afford it permanently? Can this be a permanent addition to their regular budget? And if the answer isn't absolutely yes with no emotion, then we're barking up the dog. What did you say? You would say that dog don't hunt?
Yes. That was good, Kristian. I'm proud of you. That dog does not hunt, my friend.
Yep. And if you find yourself on one of those paths where you're all excited, you're all emotional about a product, a service, or whatever, and it's outside of people's normal buying habits, it's outside of people's normal budgets, and you're impinging on them and their space and their budget. Emotionally, you can get them to make a decision and kind of be with you for a little while, but it's just not going to last long term. So if you find yourself in a place like that, a message like this can be like, guys, you're killing me. Stop. I can't, I was excited 4 seconds ago and now I'm distraught. We're sorry. Seriously, we're sorry. And we had the same kick in the gut. I had mine in November and December. Last year I made a dumb decision. I threw in with awesome people, awesome products, $150 to $250 a month range, probably best in the world. Legitimately, the science was amazing. And I convinced myself at the time last year that this market is hungry. The market for a product like this at this price point is hungry. The problem was, on paper, that made sense, and I talked myself into it. But in practical reality, the people I deal with is everyday people. It's all those people I'm talking about, the cops, the bartenders, the teachers, all these people. Guess what? They like me. Your friends, they like you. And yeah. Joe, you've got an audience of people that love and trust you. They'll throw in for what, 2, 3, 4 months. And then when 90% of them predictably fail to make a profit, then what? They cancel. That's what. Mm-hmm. They're like, sorry, Joe, but this isn't working out for me, and I gotta put the kids through soccer camp this year, and it costs $80 each, and I really just can't keep doing this. So I wish you the best.
Yeah, exactly. Right? I've heard that, and that is reality. So I'll add one thing to that too, and in a lot of the other things that we have done, it was a how do you say it? Somebody that was good at sales or approach or talking, however you want to say it, could convince. But the average person couldn't get nobody to do anything with them. That's why a lot of them, failed as well. But what I love about what we're doing here is it's so simple. It's so, relatable, if that makes sense.
It's relevant. It's clean. And so obviously Joe and I have something where, we're not spelling it out, but I hope, we keep talking about where we were and where you might be, or where you might have been, last month or last year, 15 times in the last, 10 years, over and over. You start over and we keep chasing your tail and you keep not getting residual income. So we keep talking about that side. And maybe we're annoying you that we're not just spilling the beans and telling you, well, okay, guys, okay, so what are you doing? What are you up to? We're not going to spill the beans. You got to hit Joe.
and there's a reason.
Yes, there's a reason. And we hope, we hope that you're following the logic and coming into this clear-headed. And I would encourage you, ping Joe and just have a 10, 15-minute conversation. Look into what we're doing and why we're thinking this way, and why we're sleeping better than we've ever slept at night in our career. Why we can, in the last video, we showed you a chart of growth for several decades that just went up and up and up and up. So when Joe and I, come to you in a video like this and we say, we're home. This is the last one, not the next one.
Yes, sir.
It's not emotion. That's actually reasonable and logical for us to look at the data available and go, oh, yep, makes sense. So, anyway, we would just invite you to get back with Joe and, dig into this a little bit. What's the worst that could happen? You take 10, 15 minutes, dig into it a little bit and go, what are you guys smoking? Leave me alone. Or maybe
Or
we're actually maybe we're onto something here. Right?
you're right, and that's what I just ask everybody to reach out. And it's amazing the conversations that I've had over the last couple of days with you as well, Kristian. A lot of the phone calls and stuff that everybody's feeling the same way we felt,
Yeah.
and they're reaching out because they've seen the same thing. And so, hey, I just appreciate everybody coming out and taking a look and visit us with us for a few more minutes tonight. We'll do a couple more here, I'm sure. So
Yep.
we just want to make sure use, how do you tell, how would you the best way to say it, Kristian? Just use logic, sit back.
Yeah.
Look, you take that real quick before we close it.
Yeah. So just zoom out on what your career has looked like, and maybe I'm assuming too much. Maybe you're not like Joe and I. Maybe it hasn't been these more emotional decisions, and maybe emotion isn't even a good way to do it, Joe. Maybe because we haven't really been emotional, I guess. It's been more of a thing of like, if the product speaks to me
Maybe
and I
hype.
start to,
Maybe hype.
it might be hype, but it's, at the end of the day, I think I hear a story that I like, because we're
Right.
networkers. This is how this
Right.
works. I hear a story that I go, wow, that's a killer story. That's a story I can tell. That's a story a lot of my friends would like. And you start going down that path, and next thing you know, you're going like, where's my link? Sign me up.
Yeah.
Like, I got people to tell,
Yeah.
And so there wasn't an actual vetting process that made any sense. It's more like, I liked it, so I'm going to do it. And I think that's how a lot of us do this. I took a different route with internet marketing, and I know you have too, where you look at the data online. You and I look at the trends. We look at the competition. We look
Yep.
at what we can rank and what we can't rank, what's going to be hard, what's going to be easy to rank. And we think in those kind of terms. And that's what I was doing last year when I did that $150 to $250 a month product. But all that stuff on paper doesn't matter. The rubber hits the road where the cop, the teacher, the bartender, the stay-at-home mom look at their credit card statement and then look at the auto ship and go, you know what, Joe, you're right. It's the best product I've ever used. I just, I'm not making money, and I got to put Joey through soccer camp, and this is an impossible choice. I wish you the best, but I'm out of here. You have those kind of conversations happening ever throughout your business, and you're dead. You're not going to make residual income. You're not going to make it. And if your knee-jerk reaction is, no, I have residual income. No, you don't. Right? I mean,
Yeah, unfortunately.
residual income is not income you have coming in this year. I'm talking about an income you can count on, that's predictable, that's persistent, that's relentless in its nature. Like that's how residual income is. Anything less than a persistent, relentless income for years and years, for decades, we're talking two different language here. That is not what I would call residual income. Think about the pitch. We have all heard this pitch. We've all probably made this pitch, this walk away residual, work hard, work your tail off for 3 to 5 years, and we can all, live on the beaches of the world and enjoy this walk away. It's a myth. Unless you vet this way,
Yep.
With logic and reason and
documentation.
Center. Yeah, look at document. Talk is cheap.
Yep.
We're us marketers. We're good, right? I mean, we talk each other into all kinds of crazy stuff all the time.
Yep.
And half of us believe what we're saying. Anyway.
Man, that was powerful, man. I appreciate you popping in there and saying that and giving us that last insight. That just really, really sinks in. So, hey, we'll catch y'all on the next one. And Kristian, appreciate your time, buddy. You brought a lot of valuable information, not only to me, to everybody that's watching in. So reach out if you want some more information from us. We'd love to have a little conversation.
Yeah, we'll show you what we got, and you can make a decision from there. Grab Joe. We'll see you around. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Joe.
Man.